What's up, everybody? It's your boy Progress Pete coming at y'all with another one. I want to thank God for waking me up to see another day. I want to pray for many more. I also want to thank God for giving me so many second chances too. I got second chances on the streets and in jail. and in court. I'm not in any way, shape, or form glorifying my past in any way. I don't want to give the wrong impression. So I'm gonna start out by saying that the streets is a dead end, a hopeless dead end. And if there was anything good in the streets, or if anything about the streets was cool, then I'd still be doing that instead of almost completing school right now. I'm at the age of 39 right now, and I am 60% of the way through school to become an electrical engineer. And I would like to say shout out to the IBEW, because as a convicted felon, it's hard to get an opportunity anywhere. And I would definitely love to thank those people for giving me a second chance and not discriminating on me just because I was an ex-offender. They gave me a second chance and I took advantage of it. I'm making the best of it. I'm appreciative for the opportunity, so I'm enthusiastic about everything they try to teach me. Shout out to the IBEW once again, man. I'm from Marrero, and that is right outside of New Orleans, Louisiana. And for those who are from down here, we all know that this is the same culture, the same treacherous landscape. It's Marrero, Harvey, Gretna. All of this is the 504, and all of these little sections together make up the Crescent City. So with that being said, I just wanted you guys to know that where I am, it's definitely one of those places to lose your life. It's definitely one of those places to lose your freedom, because down here, the streets are treacherous, and the police are treacherous. And the laws are designed just to create slaves in Louisiana. Okay, let's get to the story. This was 2004. And just to give you a little background, in 2004, I was just coming home from my first prison stint. And I certainly hope my little equipment right here has some kind of built-in wind blocker, because this was just the perfect opportunity to just screw up my video. So thank you, Win. Anyway, it's dying down. Okay, back to the operation. So 2004, I was just coming home from my first prison stint, and in 2004 I was a 3-time offender at this time. And how I got to be a 3-time offender at this time and only doing one prison stint was because my first charge was a simple burglary, which is a felony, but it's still a bullcrap charge. But it's something I did that I shouldn't have been doing. Nobody wants to come home and find their shit missing. So, I got what I got for it, and I can't complain. So I got this on probation for the simple burglary. Then later on down the line, I catch a misdemeanor marijuana charge. So that extended my probation. I was still on probation at the time, so that extended my probation. So I complete that probation. Later on, I catch another misdemeanor marijuana charge. And when I catch the second misdemeanor marijuana charge, they combined that with the first misdemeanor, which enhanced it into a felony. So that was my second felony. So now we make it to 2003. This is when I catch my first crack charge. And I had to do, I got sentenced to 2 years. I got sentenced to 2 years, and I was to do a year in and a year out, meaning I would be incarcerated for a year, and I would have to deal with street incarceration, parole, when upon my release. So upon my release, which was exactly 12 months later, from June of 2003 to June of 2004. So I get released in 2004, and when I first get home, You know, my mom's so happy. And, you know, I wanted to please. I wanted to make my mom happy. I wanted to do the right thing. I wanted to do the right thing, but the only thing I had ever excelled at was doing the wrong thing. And that was like me doing the wrong thing was actually like some of the best times of my life. That's when I had the most money. That's when I had the flyest clothes. That's when I rode fly. I always had nice cars. I stayed clean. So I know why people wanted to jack me. I know why people didn't like me. But, you know, anyway, I come home in 2004, and for a little while, I tried to work and thing. I went out, got a job, Compass Marine, washing barges. And I did that for a little while, and I wasn't feeling it. So I had no education at the time. The only thing I had was a GED, but I had no other education besides that. No vocational training, nothing, no college education. I had no real skills to speak of. The only thing I really knew how to do was use the Pyrex, use the scale, and I knew how to cut hair. And my brother taught me how to do that. And then I kind of taught myself further. I went to school for a little while for that, but I dropped out because I just wasn't ready. My mind wasn't right. School took too long. I had to have it now. You know, I needed to shine now. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be known now. I wanted my name etched in, you know, and when we out there, we thinking that we becoming superstars, and really all we doing is digging our grave in one form or another. But anyway, that's how I felt. So I was working, and it just wasn't paying off. And at this time, I still had my car from before I went to jail. My car sat up at my mom's house the whole year, and my car was clean too. I had a Lincoln Margate Coupe, 2-door. That sucker was all white Ghost, black tints on it, black leather interior, sunroof. It was clean, man. I had wood grain in that thing, you know. So I was still fly coming home from jail, but that was from money I spent before I went to jail. So I'm home and I'm broke, but I still look fly. So sooner, maybe a month and a half passed, I ended up getting back on the block because I just couldn't take waiting and working so hard, and didn't have the patience or the right frame of mind. So I couldn't envision anything beyond today. I couldn't see the future. I had no vision. So a month and a half or so I last working or whatever, and then I ended up calling my boy. Told him, look man, I need some work. So dude gave me $450 slab, bought me a beeper. Shout out to you, homeboy. You know who you are. When you see this video, I know you're gonna laugh too, boy. You know who you are. So anyway, I get back on the block. And when I first got back on the block, my homeboy was out there. He was in a wheelchair at the time. God bless the dead too. That was my dude. That was my dog. That was my running mate. We rode together day in and day out, man. I used to go pick dude up when I first got up in the morning, and we rode all the way until he couldn't take it no more. And I take him home, and I ride for the rest of the night by myself. That's just how it was. And so that's how it was before we went to jail. Sound, baby. So that's how it was before we went to jail. So I'm approaching the block, and I got my 4 slabs, I got my little beaver, and I see him out there. And when he sees me coming, he just starts smiling from ear to ear, man. I could see all his teeth, man. I could count his back teeth from where I was. So I start laughing. I'm like, dude, what's up with you, bro? What you smiling for, bro? So he was like, dog, I was waiting on you. I'm like, damn, son, you was waiting on me. I said, dude, I just got out of prison, fool. I'm trying to. He was like, dog, I was waiting on you. He was like, bro, I'm sorry, dog. He said, dog, it just ain't been the same without you, bro. It ain't been the same, bro. So, I'm back on the block now. So we start doing our thing. And this is the beginning. I'm back on the block. I don't really have clientele because I'm just getting home. I'm just starting to hustle again. So I have to go back to the block. Before I actually went to jail, though, I wasn't on the block anymore. But anytime you first start out hustling, especially if you starting small, you always have to go to the block. You got to get your name known. You got to get your product out there. You just got to make people familiar with you. So I had to go back to the block. And when I got back to the block, I had been gone for 12 months and the kids from my hood wasn't hustling back there, I guess. So when I get back there, we got strangers from other neighborhoods on the block. And I'm like, Junior, who the hell are these dudes? So he was like, man, them dudes just, they've been back here since, whatever. So I'm like, damn, man, I don't like this. I'm not comfortable with these dudes. I don't know them, bro. I can't be back here like this. So anyway, we start hustling. And I'm like, we making plans. We like, look, this is what we gonna do. Every sale we catch, just gonna make up some bullshit story. We gonna scare them off. We gonna tell them, look, yo, take the number. Don't come back here because so-and-so just got robbed trying to score something the other night. They beat the shit out of him. They broke his ribs. They did him this. They did him that. Don't come back here. Just call us from now on. Somebody else come back there. Give them the same story or give them some other story. Hey, yo, the police are picking up people from back here. It's hot, dog. Bobby just got caught. Yada, yada, yada. Don't come back here no more, bro. Just take the number. Call me. I'll come to you. So that's what we were in the process of doing at the time that this happened. This night I'm about to tell you about. So one night, we got 2 trap houses right next to each other. And these are not our trap houses. These houses just happens to be occupied by fiends. So that just benefits a lot of dope dealers because now you got somewhere to go hustle and sell your dope all day long and do whatever you want to do, cook up, chop down, whatever. So we back there one night, make a long story short. These 2 houses are next to each other. So I got my car backed in the driveway at one house, but we were all inside of the other house. And I don't remember why it was like that night, why it happened. It wasn't done on purpose. It just happened to be that way that night. So we're all in the house. And, some of us are sitting in there playing cards. Some of us just smoking weed, talking trash, And I had a little partner who was sitting in the front. He was just looking out the window, just, I guess looking out for police, looking out for whatever. So he was just looking out the window. And all of us in there with no gun, no nothing. We just tripping. Lacking. So he was sitting in the window just looking out and he said, son, somebody laying down Bobby House right now, dog, they about to come over here. So I'm looking at God and I'm like, man, quit playing, son. So he's like, dog, I'm serious. So when I looked up at him, I looked in his eyes, bro, and his eyes was big like saucers. I could tell he was dead serious. So I'm like, let me see. So I go look out the window. I peek out the blind. Sure enough, I see a little cat coming out the driveway, hitting the sidewalk. He's got no shirt on, got his face tied up with his t-shirt, and he got dreads hanging. Another little cat behind him, I see him coming out of the driveway, hitting the sidewalk. I don't remember what he had on, but I remember he was masked up too. So I'm like, and look, the first one I remember seeing that thing hanging out his hand, he was just casually skipping on down the sidewalk. They had already laid this up. They had already laid this down. Now they come and finish the job. So they skipping down the sidewalk. I see them coming towards us, right? So I'm like, oh shit, dog, get out of here. Let's break, y'all. So everybody like, what? I said, dog, they jacking. So I'm running through the house, and it sounded like, dog, it sounded like we was in that bit playing basketball. Everybody, skirt. So I'm running through the house. I get to the back. I'm banging on the back door. Boom, boom, boom. Open the door, son, open the door. So my son back there, he got a Vic back there. And for y'all who don't know what a Vic is he was back there tricking basically. He had a little chick that wanted a little bit of what he had, and he wanted a little bit of what she had. So they made a little exchange or whatever, whatever. So yeah, so he was back there doing that when I was banging on the door. I'm banging on the door. Open the door, son, open the door. He like, what, man? So I just kicked the door. Boom, open the door. I see him on the bed, and I'm like, come on, son, hurry up. He like, what, man? I had a cast on my arm at this time. So, and I had just beat somebody up about 2 weeks ago behind owing me some money and all that. Anyway, long story. I'm getting off the subject. So I had a cast on my arm, and when I ran past him, I'm like, come on, son. So he was like, what, man? I just broke the window out with the cast. Clack, clack, knocked that sucker out, jumped through the window. And right as I was diving through the window, I heard bam, bam in the back of the house. So in the house, it was in the house behind me. So I fall on the ground. I jump up, hit a fence, boom, jump up, hit another fence, boom, run again, hit another fence, boom. So when I get to about that third yard, this house here, the grass was real high. And along this street we were on, there's a canal that runs along this whole street throughout the whole neighborhood and beyond. So there's nothing in the backyard but darkness and the canal. So I'm jumping these fences, and when I get to the yard with the high grass, I run around the other side of it, the far side of it, and I lay down in between the fence and the next house. I'm still in the third yard in the high grass, but there's a gate, and then, you know, separating this house from the next house, and there's the next house. I'm right in between both of the houses. So I'm laying down in this high ass grass, and I'm hearing footsteps chugging through the grass. I'm hearing and I'm scared as hell, dude. So I'm laying down and I'm being quiet. So I'm hearing the footsteps walking off. They're like fading away. I'm hearing. So when I hear that, and it's pitch black back there, I can't see who it is. They can't see me. I really don't know how far away they were, but they were too close for comfort. So I'm laying down in this grass, and I'm like, God damn, man, I'm scared to death. I don't know what happened to my partners in the house or whatever, but I'm laying in the grass, and I'm trying to figure out what I need to do, because I gotta go back to this house to get my car, and I don't know if those dudes are still down there. I don't know what's going on. So I'm laying down in the grass, and I'm trying to think, and some time passed. I don't know how long I was laying down, but I start feeling mosquitoes, they start hitting me, dog. And them suckers would hit me. Oh, man, them mosquitoes was tearing my ass up. So I'm like, dang, trying to scratch, but I'm still trying to keep still too, because I'm scared I can't move. So I finally said, hell with it. The mosquitoes became unbearable, dude. So I just jumped up, ran some more, hit a couple of more fences, and I came out on the back street. So when I came out the last yard, I'm still on the main street, but I come out on a side street. So now I can peek down the street and see what's going on. It's still dark down there. I don't know what's going on, so I'm not going back down there for that car. So I just start walking up the back street, and I'm trying to stay out of sight pretty much. And I'm still trying to think of what the hell am I going to do to get my car from down there, because I just come home from prison. I'm living with my moms. So I know if I don't go down here and deal with this situation before the police get here, or if I don't deal with it before they leave from doing their investigation, then they're going to take the information off my car, and they're going to come to my mom's house, and I definitely didn't want to give my mom a heart attack. So I hit the back street. I walk almost all the way up the back street, and then I start heading back. So by the time I come back, I get to the corner and I peek. I see the police out there. So now I get scared. I'm like, shit, I got to come up with something now. I need to get my car from down there. I can't leave and just let my car stay there. So I'm thinking. I look closer. I see my homeboy coming outside the house with no shoes on. He got jacked. And I think he was an intended target too, because homeboy, you know me. I know when you see this video, you're going to know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say your name. All I'm going to say is, every time you got into it with somebody, and dog, you was a hustler. I'm not going to lie. You did your thing. But every time you got into it with somebody and y'all were arguing, you used to, bitch, I got 5,000 in my shoe. So everybody know you had money. Everybody knew what you was doing. And I think you was definitely an intended target too, you and me. So anyway, they got you though, son. You came outside with no shoes on, son. Hey, but look, he came outside with no shoes on, right? So I see him come out. I see a couple of other guys come out, and I see a chick from the neighborhood, Cherie, we're going to call her Cherie. She knows who she is too. So when I seen her outside, I start walking up. I'm like, all right, this is my shot right here. I start walking up. So the police like, hey, come here, what you doing? I said, dope, I was just coming to pick up my girlfriend and somebody started shooting. But I said it loud enough for her to hear me. I was coming to pick up my girlfriend. She's right there, Cherie. So I said, I thought something happened to my equipment here. So I said it loud enough for her to hear. So she took the cue and told the police, yeah, that's my boyfriend. He was coming to get me or whatever. So they didn't really believe me. They asked me questions, who I was, what I was doing back there. Was I on parole? What was I on parole for? When I told them I was on parole for selling drugs or whatever, they was like, you know you're in the drug zone right now, don't you? You wasn't back here to pick up no girl or whatever. But I went back and forth with them for a while, and I stuck with it, and she stuck with it. So they ended up letting her leave with me. They let me take my car, They let her leave with me. I went and dropped her off at home, and I got away that night. I actually finished that parole, but I ended up going to prison again. I ended up in another situation where they attempted to rob me again. And this was a few years later, a couple of years later, maybe 2 or 3 years later. And this next attempt, it was just me and my wife in the house. She wasn't my wife at the time, but she's my wife now. And I thank God for getting us out of that jam too. I guess I'll share that story with y'all on the next one, bro. I thank God that I'm here. I want everybody to understand that the streets are dead end. And if you're young, bro, you're still in school, or you just got out of high school and you got an opportunity to go to college or go to vocational school or whatever, bro. Right now, too, in the trades area, vocational and everything, man, there's a lack of skilled tradesmen. So there's definitely going to be an increase in pay for construction workers. That's coming, and it's not going to be bullshit. That's if you have no skills at all. If you can rap, you can sing, you can design clothes, or whatever talents you may have, man, use them, man. But don't get yourself caught up in these streets. I don't care what it is, bro. Don't get caught up out here. And don't get caught up in that penitentiary, bro. I got stories about prison, too, that I will be sharing with y'all, man. Anyway, real food for thought, man. God bless y'all. Thank you.